We are at the halfway point to this year's Fiesta, and while that's sad in itself, it means we still have a ton more events to celebrate. Julian Martinez got a chance to speak with Executive Director of Fiesta, and they touch base about how the event has been going so far and what else Fiesta goers can look forward to. Here's a look at their conversation.
Alrighty guys, Fiesta Week continues to roll on, and I'm joined by one of the busiest men in town, Steve Rosenauer. Thank you for being here today.
Well, thank you so much for having me this morning.
Steve, obviously you finished the first weekend here. We're continuing through the second week. How's the energy been? How does 2025 compare to some of the past years you've seen?
You know what? The 2025 Fiesta year is really kicking off to a great start. The energy's been very high. This first weekend of Fiesta, we've seen large crowds, a lot of enthusiasm, a lot of smiles, and a lot of people partying with a purpose. So it's been a great start to Fiesta.
Let me ask, do you even sleep during this time, or are you all business? You're awake 24/7?
Not too much. You know, one of the things about the Fiesta Commission is we try to hit as many events as possible with our executive committee and our Fiesta president. We really try to go out to as many events as possible, really to make sure that our organizations know that they are supported by the Fiesta Commission, and we want them to be as successful as they can.
So you've been the executive director since 2020, and you've been part of Fiesta a lot longer than that. How does this event, or how does this year's event compare to some of the past ones you've been a part of?
Well, I tell you what, actually coming through COVID in 20 and 21, we only did a little bit of Fiesta in 21, but after the last couple of years, coming out of COVID, our organizations have been very successful. They've been producing high quality Fiesta events, and this is really what the trend has been, and we're excited for all of our Fiesta organizations to really have successful events and raise a lot of money for their charities.
All right, looking ahead, first weekend, like I said, in the books, River Parade in the books. What can people look forward to in the second weekend?
Well, we're going to have a great week ahead. We're looking forward to the upcoming weekend with our Battle of Flowers Parade, our Fiesta Flambeau Parade, but there are so many events that happen the rest of Fiesta time all the way through Sunday, May 4th. So we're looking forward to a lot of organizations celebrating a lot of Fiesta still.
Okay. Well, obviously, these events have such a rich history in San Antonio. They've been going strong for roughly a century. So how is it balancing tradition while also modernizing this event?
Well, that's a great question. You know, Fiesta's been around. We're celebrating our 134th anniversary, and it began in 1891 with the Battle of Flowers Parade. But one of the things that makes Fiesta so exciting is each year, the Fiesta Commission, through their Accreditation and Compliance Committee, grants official event status to several different organizations each year. So we are keeping Fiesta fresh and new every year by including additional organizations. We work with a lot of our Fiesta nonprofit organizations as well on what they can do to make their events fresh and timely as well. So we're very excited that Fiesta, we do keep a good hold on our traditions, but we also are excited to have new events every year that bring out new attendance, new crowds, new demographics. And that's kind of what our Fiesta purpose is to really provide a Fiesta for all. Whether you're from the north side, the south side, the east side, the west side, or downtown San Antonio, there's a Fiesta event for you.
Okay, so you mentioned it. Yeah, people are coming from all over, all parts of town, but especially not just all parts of town. I mean, you got hundreds of thousands of visitors at some of these events. So, you know, people are coming across from the state, across the country to be a part of Fiesta. If you're a first timer, this is your first time going to a Fiesta event, you're going to be there the second weekend. What are the things I need to be doing?
You know, I tell you what, I think from a traditional standpoint, going out to the Battle of Flowers Parade on Friday morning, that really is what began Fiesta. So the ladies with the Battle of Flowers organization, the largest parade produced entirely by women volunteers. That's really from a traditional standpoint where Fiesta began. On Saturday night, we have the night parade, the Fiesta Flambeau Parade. It's the largest illuminated parade in the country. That is from a wow factor. It's just amazing to see 750,000 people lining the streets of San Antonio to celebrate the Fiesta Flambeau Parade. So those are two large parades that I would definitely recommend to put on anybody's Fiesta attendance list.
For you, on a personal level, So again, Fiesta's been around for 130 plus years. Generations come and go. So like a lot of people are bringing out their kids for the first time after their grandparents took them to a Fiesta event. What does it mean for you when you see a fresh face, a first generation Fiesta goer, checking it out for the first time and taking in those memories?
You know what? That's really so exciting for me because Fiesta's been around for 134 years. It's very exciting to see the next generation of Fiesta goers. And with that, the thing that's exciting for me as well is those Fiesta attendees, they're going for their first time to see their first event, but they're also our future leadership for Fiesta. And that really is something exciting, knowing that our 100 plus nonprofit organizations, they have an opportunity to attract new attendees and also develop their new leadership. So I think that's a very exciting standpoint that the future of Fiesta looks very strong when we have all these great attendees coming and they look to get involved and volunteer for these wonderful organizations.
Plenty of chance to still make more memories. But for you, when you look back at this event 5, 10 years from now, what is going to stand out about the 2025 Fiesta?
I think the one thing that's going to stand out for me is just the energy that the crowds have had and the fact that really understanding that Fiesta is a party with a purpose. We're here to raise money for 100 plus nonprofit charities, and we want to make sure that we celebrate a Fiesta for all. So I think that those two parts of Fiesta, those two missions of Fiesta, to party with a purpose and celebrate a Fiesta for all, when I look back 5 or 10 years from now, I'm going to really be happy with the fact that we really are achieving our mission and our goal.
Okay, Steve Rosenauer, let me just ask again. Second weekend coming up, a lot of events. After a successful Fiesta, how does Steve Rosenauer relax? Because I'm sure you need some downtime.
Well, you know what? We actually get right into the planning for Fiesta 2026 as soon as Fiesta 2025 ends. We have our nominating committee. We have our elections of our new officers. We have our annual meeting in May with all of our membership. So May is actually a very exciting and busy time as well. Then we can not only recap Fiesta 2025, but begin to plan for 2026. I may get a couple of days around Memorial Day weekend to relax, but I'm excited as soon as Fiesta ends to start planning the next one. And I think that energy really helps with our executive committee as well too, as they start to work on their plans for next year.
Steve, you gotta give yourself a break. You're working too much. But hey, I get it.
If I didn't have this job, I'd still be going to all these events. So I love it. I love seeing all the smiling faces and knowing that the Fiesta Commission is definitely making a difference in a lot of people's lives.
There's no play, there's no party without hard work behind the scenes. So Steve Rosenauer, thank you so much for your time. And we hope this is the first of many great conversations with you.
That sounds great. Thank you so much for having me. And Viva Fiesta!
Viva Fiesta. Thank you to Steve for joining us on this River City Wednesday.